Hello, welcome back to the garage. Got a nice little treat today. I put the charger over there. We've got this lot, the MiRider. This is a nice e-bike. Let's just pop it up on the bench for you. It's not crazy heavy. It's got a bit of weight to it, but it's not bad at all. It's got a little stand on it at the back here, so that it can. How cool's that? What a cracking bit of kit. We'll give it a ride and stuff in a bit. It's got a fault on it at the minute. One of the brakes, the back brake, isn't working quite right. So this is a friend of mine's bike, and he said, can I have a look at the brake, try and figure it out, see what's going on, and then we can take it for a little spin. Can't wait. You know, I like a nice bike. It's got some really nice features on it though. The way that the brackets crack, the seat adjustment, a little flip of a thing and up and down it goes. Really, really nice. The steering, you can pop that down and the whole thing collapses down, and it actually folds. It folds up off this little bracket. Round here, we push the little tab, pull the lever, and then it snaps around. Do it on the bench without too much problem. And it's got a little magnet on the axle at the back there, so it all sticks together. And then you can pop that into the boot of the car. Hey! If it don't run away with you. So yeah, it's quite. Once it's all collapsed down, I think the pedals going again as well. I think we can fold the pedals around like that. Yeah. So these kind of twist and twiddle around somehow. How do we do? Pull and release, is it, or push and release? Yeah, like that. So it all goes nice and flat. It's got a little wheel on the base there, so you can wheel it about when it's in its closed form there. We can get these handlebars up a bit more as well. That's got another quick release one on it, so that will go right up into the closed position. So yeah, as far as a compact little bike goes, for getting it in your car and everything else, it's not bad at all, is it? Let's open it all up again. So separate the two back wheels off of there. Spin it round, lock it into position on the frame. Pull that around, clip it in. Handlebars go up. That clips down as well into place. They want tightening up. We've got a couple of bits that need tightening up, don't we? Push that down, clip that into place like that. And then the seat, we can get the seat to whatever position we want. Lovely, lovely. So it's got a little electric motor on the back wheel, power coming in, very tidy, lovely aluminium framework, and it's made, it's beautiful. The finishing off on it is absolutely lovely. Nice little rack on the back, you get a little bag on the back of there as well. It's got a fixed speed on it, but with the electric assistance, it's got a bit of whiz, I have to say. I've seen it go up the road, and it goes pretty well. Right then, let's have a look at this back brake and see what's going on. That's what it's here for. So as we pull the brake lever, it's going all the way right back to the handlebar. Well, I'm thinking it's just going to be a cable adjustment, unless there's something absolutely gone wrong with the brake pads in there. I can see in there there's plenty of material still left on those pads. I'm thinking we're just going to have to adjust this cable up, get it right up so that the brakes are working up there. It just looks like it's really slackened off. So let's get a little Allen key, we'll pop that out, pull the cable through and lock it back up again. So we've got a little 5mm Allen key there, we'll pop that into the socket and crack that off. And then we can pull that right round to about there and lock that up again. On that close-up, you can see that brake pad. It's almost going in and out on the same pull, like it's going over the edge of the cam. Oh, it's not working now. It's stopped working altogether. Oh dear. Houston, we've got a problem. Let's pop the little pads out the back. We've got a little pin there to release it. Got my little Milwaukee bit box here. Hex one. Pop the little pin out the brakes there. So that's the little spring retainer there. And the brake pads have got loads of material on them. I can see it now. There's stacks on them. There's loads on there. Yeah, they've got plenty of life left in them, yeah. So the pads don't look that worn when you're looking at them straight away. But we've got us new ones. Let's get them out of the packet, and we'll put a vernier on them and just see how much wear we've taken off them to stop working. So if I hold them together, is there any difference? Do you know what? There ain't a lot. There is not a lot of difference there. So the old ones, when they're together, are coming in at 7.81. The new ones, when they're together, 7.94. That's not a lot, is it? That's not a lot. So these ones they're not that worn at all. So we must have a faulty caliper as well. This can't be. That just sort of tells me that the caliper has definitely got an issue with it. Let's get these new brake pads in and just give it a little try and see if it still clicks out. These are straight off of Amazon. I'll pop links in the description for them. Yeah, we've still got a problem, so it's time to strip it. I'm just going to take this, take the arm off of there, and we can release the caliper from the bike. Just 2 bolts there holding that on, and then we can have a really good look at this. So we've got one adjustment on the back there, and obviously we've got his little rotator here, which we want to make sure is working properly. If it's going too far, it's going to click out. I think we need to just separate this and just make sure we've got some grease in there. So we can do that by cracking off the 2 bolts on the front there. I think the issue we're going to have is that adjuster on the back which balances the pads out. I think that's going to be the key to this, but let's put some grease in while we're at it. We've got it off, we might as well do it. And we can separate the caliper now, the back comes off. You can see there the little adjustment there that winds that side through to give you equal balance when you're adjusting the brakes up. But we just need to check this, make sure that this has got some grease in it. So if we just pop that out of there, you can see what you get on there is 3 ball bearings on the cam, and they sit inside these little eccentric sliders, and that's what forces it out. So that's pretty fail proof, really. That's not worn or anything in there. It can't go wrong. So it's all about adjustments. It's all about adjustments. That what we'll do is just pop a little bit of grease on there though while we've got it out. So I've got a little bit of alley slip here. I'll just get a bit on the end of my screwdriver. And I'll drop that onto those bearings. Looks like I've got more on my finger than I have the bearing. I'll just pop it on straight on there. Just off a bit of that on those. And we can drop that straight back into there and make sure that's all rotating and lifting like it should, which is lovely. Give that a quick wipe down in there, make sure it's all good. I'll have us back and front back together. We'll just whiz those up, get them both in, make sure it's all located centrally. Perfect. Just lock those up. 1, 2. There's some numbers you might be interested in on the back there for the sizing, if you wanted to upgrade these to hydraulic. So we can pop this back on the bike, attach these little Allen key bolts back up again. Can't go wrong with those. Calipers located. Oh, that's them two in there. Okay, we can get us. So it's spring on top of that, and then the plastic adjuster then over the top of that, like so. We'll have the cable back through its hole there. We'll screw that back in again. I'll get it started. Just so we can see it coming through the bottom like that. I think it'd be easier if I drop the brake pads back in again now. So we've got his new ceramic brake pads there. Rub those in. Just making sure the ball is all in place. That's all in there. They're in there like that. We'll have this little spring retainer to go in as well. A little bit fiddly these are. You've got to just compress them slightly as you're putting it in. Just give it a little squeeze together, get it between the pads. And there's a little pin back through to lock all them in. Nip that up. And we've got his lever and his spring. Small side goes to the outer there like that, and through the little hole in there. Top one goes into the tiny hole up the top there. We wind that back a bit until it goes in the hole like that. Okay, we're in the right position there now. We'll get the screw back in the end of that. Whiz that in, but try not to drop your socket. You just need to nip that up like that. Which means we need to hold one while we turn the other. Like that. Okay, now we've got to do the adjustment on the back just to give ourselves a little bit more purchase on this, to bring that back. If I just adjust the other side in a tad, that's a 5mm Allen key. We'll get that through there like that. We'll put the ratchet on the end of that. I'm just going to tweak this up a tiny bit. Now what we'll do is lift the wheel in the air just to see how it's loose now. We've not got any, obviously can't turn it too far because but we could just turn that up a tiny bit. Still free. Turn it up a tiny bit more. I think I'm just starting to catch a little bit, so I'll just back it off a tiny tad. That's got it. Okay, and let's get the cable back into the caliper there, and we'll lock that up. So we'll just pull that round, back it off a bit, and then lock it up there. Perfect. Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll just see what the spin's like again on the back. And we might be able to adjust that up at the back a tad more again. Let's just go through the spokes. Just turn it a tiny bit. And there we are, we've got a nice gap when it's locked up, look. Good gap there. That feels a lot better than it did. Beautiful. Right, let's load it up in the car. Fold it up. Nice and quick, look. It don't take 2 seconds to sort of chuck this in the car. Off we go. Let's head over to the old Foss Meadows. Beautiful, nice trails and everything for us to ride around here. We can give it a really good test. See how long the battery lasts. We'll get through the gate and up the paths. Now this is gravel, so it's a little bit more energy zapping than it would be if you're on tarmac. But hey ho, we'll just keep on riding around and see how far we get. Over the course of the next couple of hours, I've just kept on riding round and round and round, watching the battery level drop slowly. And well, to be fair, I've had a really good time. I've really enjoyed riding round, but the battery is getting zapped. It is, yeah, it's definitely struggling to stay charged. And they do claim on the website up to 45 miles on power level 1. But to be fair, it's really difficult to ride it on a power level 1. You've got to put a lot of effort in. So I was running this round on 3 to 5, which makes it nice and easy, and you just whiz around like you want to on an e-bike. But the only trouble was, I only managed to get 10 miles range. So yeah, it was considerably less than what, you know, the stated 45 miles. But then, you know, it is just a figure, and it's a real-time test. This is on gravel with knobbly tyres, so it's definitely used a bit more power than it would normally. But I've had such a good time that everybody that's watched me riding around has been saying, "What's that you're riding? It looks great. Can I have a go?" So of course I had to hand it over and yeah, they absolutely loved it. Look, easy to ride though. It's really easy to ride. It's beautiful. Even Dell, he's in his 80s, was riding it round. And even didn't manage to fall off, which was a bonus. Everybody wants to go. There it is. It's fantastic. So if you're a commuter or you want to get this on a train or walk around with it through a busy city or whatever, you can pop the handlebar up like that and actually walk round. Yeah, it's quite movable. It makes it much easier to manoeuvre, and it's also got that little dolly wheel on it as well, so you can drop it down. But yeah, it's nice if you have that handle up. It does make it a lot more controllable if you want to stand behind it and push it along. If you've enjoyed this video, if it's been of use to you, please drop me a little thumbs up, like and subscribe. I think I might just put this back in the boot of the car and forget to give it back to my friend, because I've absolutely had a blast on it. It's been fantastic, really good fun. Sorry Ben, it's mine.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.